There's a brand new MG4, and even though I don't like the look of it, actually, I've got to admit it's actually really good. In fact, in some ways, much better than the existing MG4. Hey Vikings, Sam Evans here. Hope you guys are doing really well today. If you'd like to become a YouTube member, I'll put a link in the description below. Would really, at this point in time, massively appreciate your support. It just personally would mean a lot to me. There's a lot of EV news going on in China right now. The MG4 is one of the best selling electric cars outside of China. Inside of China, no one wants them. Like, I think they sold 10 last month. 10 in all of China. A car market of 32 million. 10. But outside of China, this is a really popular car. MG have just revealed the new MG4 hatchback. It's much bigger, it's lighter, and it's been totally redesigned. In a way, I have to admit, it's good, but just to me looks weird. Is this, though, their new comeback kid in the brutal Chinese EV war, where MG is, to be honest, not really doing that well? Well, let's have a look. The MG4, it's back, and China's regulators have just revealed the size of it. It's actually about as big as a BYD Atto 3, meaning it's gone up a size. It's now 4.4 meters long, 4,400 millimeters. It's 1,842 millimeters wide, 1,551 millimeters tall, wheelbase 2,750 millimeters. It seems like an entirely new car. That means it's actually 108 millimeters longer and 45 millimeters longer stretched wheelbase compared to the old MG4. It's bigger in every direction. It's got a new front grille, slick arrow-shaped tail lights like the MG Cyberster, which I don't really like, but some people do. It's got reworked doors, a fresh greenhouse. MG is basically saying, we've started over with a new car. Why? Well, honestly, because even though here in Australia and in the UK, most people don't pay attention to the Chinese market, China matters, right? And MG knows for it to succeed as a brand, it needs to do well in China. And that's not really happening right now. Under the hood, the entry-level version, the one we have the details on so far, has a 120 kilowatt motor. Tops out at 160 kilometers an hour. So about 100 miles an hour is this top speed. It's lighter too, at 1,485 kilograms versus the old one at 1,641 kilograms. So it's quite a bit bigger, but somehow it's 150 kilograms lighter. I mean, that's what, 340 pounds lighter. I don't know how they've done that. It's remarkable. It has a lithium iron phosphate battery pack from Rept Batero Energy. I don't even know who that is, guys. I might have to look this up. I'm embarrassed to admit I don't know who they are. But anyhow, it's got a lithium iron phosphate battery. Capacity, we don't know the size of the battery pack yet. But they are apparently bad shopping. They've filed for MG3 and E5 as well. But anyway, this is the new MG4, so it is what it is. Here's the thing. Like I said before, the MG4 has been a complete disaster in China. Outside of China, it's done really well. Since mid-2022, it spiked in sales briefly, then it crashed. I've looked at the numbers now. In total, 13 were sold in China in February. You know, MG, it's actually still got a bit of some reputable brand name to it. It's a British name, which, well, it's British in only name, right? It began in the UK as a British car brand, but it's now owned by Chinese conglomerate SAIC, and they actually purchased the brand in 2005 after it pretty much had ceased to exist. It's getting smoked though in China by the BYD Dolphin, the Wheeling Bingo, Geely's new hatchback. That's hugely popular as well. MG actually sold a total of 7,002 vehicles in China last month, which is not too bad. But here's the thing. Of those 7,000 cars they sold in China, 75% of them were the gas-powered MG5. EVs, they don't really even sell. MG's EV presence in China is almost non-existent. So they're hoping this new car will completely change that. Overseas though, India, Thailand, Europe, Australia, the MG4 has been a big hit. The new MG4s, basically MG's pretty sincere, maybe some would say desperate swing to survive China's EV bloodbath. I mean, some are calling it a slaughterhouse, some are saying it's a bloodbath, but whatever the case may be, it's incredibly difficult to compete there, which is why I'm shocked at just how well companies like Zeekr and Xpeng are doing. They're just smashing it, even though BYD are obviously the biggest, most powerful company here, and MG have got to compete with BYD, which is so difficult. So can this bigger, better, lighter, but not as good looking in my opinion, MG4, can it save MG in China? I mean, at this point, MG is a dying brand considering most 80% of their sales in China are not even electric. So they're only selling a couple of thousand EVs in China. Can this car save them? It's a pretty good car from the looks of it. But some experts in China are saying it's too late for the MG brand, and that it's really just going to stay a brand that sells well outside of China, but it's never going to succeed in China. What do you guys think? I think it's got a shot. I think it's not bad. Size matters. People like bigger cars. They like bigger things, especially in Texas. Drop your thoughts below. And guys, if you haven't liked, maybe subscribe now as well. Let's keep charging into an electric future. The EV world is just amazing. Everything's changing so quickly. Make sure you stay subscribed, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye. 26,990 drive away. Odometer, 0 kilometers. 26,990 drive away. Odometer, 0 kilometers. 26,990 drive away. Odometer, 0 kilometers. 27,500 drive away. Odometer, 15 kilometers. 27,500 odometer, 18 kilometers. 27,500 odometer, 15 kilometers. Yeah, I think you get the picture. The MG4 is a lot cheaper than what people realize. The price has been reduced by up to $13,000. Not what the media are telling you. They're saying 10,000. It's actually 13. Media reports have come out in Australia here within the last few hours, in fact within the last 4 or 5 hours, that the MG4, one of the most popular electric cars worldwide, and in fact a really good car, rear-wheel drive, there's a hot hatch version, it's a ground-up built EV. It's actually a really, really good car. It's won 15 different global awards. Price, right? They're saying, these media reports are kind of incorrectly saying the price has been discounted to 31,000 Australian dollars drive away. That's about 19,000 euros. It's therefore, I think, the best value car in Australian history. You've got to say, if that were the price, that would be a good story. But the story is actually better than that. The media, for some reason, all these journalists that have done these media reports, which are great, I mean, good on them, none of them actually checked what the prices actually really are. And the prices are not what they're saying. In fact, as soon as I saw these reports, I went, okay, I'm going to jump on the websites, car sales. I'm going to jump on find out what dealers are actually charging. What does it cost to get one of these cars drive away? So when I say drive away, that means the price of an MG4 plus the fees, registration, stamp duty, all the extra fees you've got to pay.